Hey, all you ghoulish gourmets, and welcome to another edition of Movie Munchies. Today, we're going to be making Captain Howdy Burgers with faith fries. Okay. Steve said I should call them Pazuzu fries, but I said, nah, I want to mix and match. What do you have to fight the evil? You have your faith, right? And for those of you that have seen The Exorcist, you know that when you hear William Friedkin talk about making The Exorcist, he talked about the importance of faith. In fact, he talked about the importance of faith in a lot of things he did after The Exorcist. Okay. So, anyway, we are going to, hey, Blissful, we are going to be making the Captain Howdy Burgers. This was a suggestion of Jay's. I have to give credit what credit is due. There's something called Howdy Burgers. In fact, they're a chain of restaurants, not around here, mind you, but in some areas of the country where they make Howdy Burgers. Okay. So I am going to be making Howdy Burgers with both bacon and guacamole. We're using guacamole for the green stuff instead of using pea soup because I don't know. I don't know if I'd like pea soup, and I don't know if I'd like pea soup on a hamburger. Okay. So I am currently, I just cooked the bacon. You guys will get to be here with me as I caramelize the onions in the bacon grease. That's going to make them yummy, right? But if you're watching your fat content, there are other things that you could use. You could use a butter substitute. You could use olive oil. You can use canola oil. You can use all different kinds of things. So it's up to you. Um, but I'm actually going to take my bacon out here because it's all nice and crispy there. I'm actually going to take it out of the skillet here and let it drain a little bit. I'm just going to set it to the side here. Just kind of dab it off just a little bit. I'm going to let it drain while we're doing the other stuff here. Okay. And I've got a bunch of bacon grease left in here to caramelize my onions and the bacon grease to give them a good flavor. Hey, Super Batman Nerd. Um, but it's something else I want to show you. And Blissful has already seen it. And Blissful, I'll listen to the rest of your message here shortly. I do apologize too that my logo intro was not at the beginning of this. I forgot to put it on. I was like, well, I'll use it next time. So forgive me for that little indiscretion there. So let's go ahead and bring up the haunted food cam, shall we? And it looks like, I don't know if it's not wanting to focus good or what. Let me try to bring that down closer there to maybe sit these over here like this. That looks a little better. That looks a little clearer. You knew this one was going to make you hungry, Blissful. But I have made my own little like Ouija board plates, at least a couple of and how I made these is very easy, really. I went to Dollar Tree today in order to get some cheap trash bags because we were almost out of trash bags and I forgot to get any at the grocery. So I was just looking around and I found that they have a very nice craft section at our Dollar Tree. So I found these two pieces of wood with the little designs on the outside of them. And I said, these kind of look like little mini Ouija boards. So what I did is I came home and I was thinking about it, and I actually bought some black food safe paint um, and some little paint brushes because I was just going to do a little painting. And then I was going to add stickers onto it. And then I got to thinking, I wonder because I remember when I was doing the t-shirt transfers and I was ironing them onto the styrofoam cups. Well, I thought, I wonder if I can do something similar with wood. So I actually tried it. I thought, what the hey? Worst that could happen is I ruin a piece of transfer paper, right? And it doesn't work. Okay. So I found this image. I made it 5 by 7 because I measured these pieces of wood and they were about 5 by 7. I did have to do a little trimming to them, and I peeled off the backing off of it after I printed out, set them on there, got them centered good, put the little piece of parchment paper over top to protect it, and then took my little mini pink iron and actually ironed the transfer on there. And then to make the edges blend in a little bit better, I took the black paint, just painted around the edges. So therefore, I've got my nice little Ouija board plates, I guess is what you would call them. And that's where I'm going to be setting a couple of these Captain Howdy Burgers. And I don't think we're going to have a problem with grease really, because the bun is what's actually going to be setting on here. I'm not probably not going to be eating off of them. It's mainly for display purposes. Okay. And also something I got in that I thought was going to be big enough to put a burger on, but it's not. But it's a nice little decoration, and it does have a planchette with it. As I got this little mini Ouija board just to have here um, as a little ornament. So I'll set it over here so you guys can see that on the haunted food cam. Thank you, Blissful. Blissful says, please hit the thumbs up. Thank you. So let's go over what we're going to need to make these Captain Howdy Burgers. I might do this. Trying to think of and also this paint that I got doesn't take very long to dry. So I can see where I missed a couple of spots, but that kind of makes them unique, doesn't it? Just going to bring that one down a little bit so you can see it a little better there. Okay, we'll just bring that there. There we go. How's that? I always say it's all about presentation, stuff like that. So, um, and I'm a perfectionist. I like to make things look just, mm, there we go. And that's a little bit, we don't, there we go. All right. Well, perfect for me. Super Batman Nerdy said I was going to say, throw up on the log. Exactly. All right. So, what are we going to need to make these burgers? Okay. Now, they say to use 24 ounces of ground Wagyu beef. Guys and gals, I looked up the price of this. I ain't rich, and I expect that most of you are not rich either. So I was like, I'm just getting regular ground beef. I'm not spending, I'm not going into debt getting ground beef. Okay. Ground beef, regular ground beef's high enough, right? So I just got 2 pounds of Kroger ground beef, and that stuff cost me about $5 or $5 and something uh, a pound. Okay. And they say to use 24 ounces. I thought, what the hell? I'll just get 2 pounds and use that. Um, they also mentioned something called Maytag blue cheese. I've never heard of. If y'all have heard of Maytag blue cheese, please let me know. But instead of getting that, got we got some raw buttermilk blue cheese crumbles. Okay, so we've got that. And we also need 3 ounces of heavy cream. And I have heavy whipping cream. This is the Kroger brand. You get whatever works for you, right? And I didn't even have to buy uh, whipping cream because I had some left over from something else that I made. All right. So we're also going to be doing some caramelized onions, which I'm going to do here in a little bit. Now, you can get fresh onions and you can chop those suckers up or do them in half moon shapes or whatever. And you can caramelize them that way. However, I'm a little lazy. So I just got a bag of Kroger chopped onions. These are the recipe beginnings. I'm sure if you don't shop at Kroger, if you shop at Walmart or whatever, or your other favorite grocery store of choice, they'll have something similar to this. And if they don't, you can do it the old fashioned way, right? Um, so, what we're going to do here, um, we need about 4 ounces of um, onions. So I'm gonna use I don't know, about a quarter of a bag of these onions. Okay. So I don't know if I can turn this around where we could get a shot of my. I don't know if we can or not without it falling over. I don't think so. So now we're gonna have to fix this bag. Okay. Hope I didn't hit anything, go off screen. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. At some point in time, I will hopefully be able to get another camera to be able to use so you guys can see what I'm doing when I'm doing stuff over at the stove. I've got the other area taken care of. It's just the area over at the stove. But what I'm going to do is I've already got the bacon grease. That's why it's important if you're using bacon in these to go ahead and have your bacon fried, and that way you can use the bacon grease that's in the skillet for your onions. So I'm just, like I said, I'm going to pour like about a fourth of the bag of onions in here. That's good. And I'm going to put a little whip on these. Oops, I'm going to put them there. I'm going to put them right in the freezer. But let me tell you guys and gals, it does smell good in here right now because I just cooked that bacon. And I'm a sucker when it comes to bacon. All right. So I'm going to get out my little Pioneer Woman wooden spatula spoon thing. And before I start caramelizing these onions, I'm just going to kind of mix them up in that bacon in there, get them kind of coated before we even start. All right. And then we're going to turn this on medium heat here. We're just going to let those, I'll be stirring them around and stuff so they don't lay on one side for too long. And I do apologize. My dogs are always making noise whenever I do these streams. But, when you have 5 dogs in the house, I know I mention that a lot. There's really not a whole lot you can do to keep them quiet. If something's going on outside Darcy, then they're going to get all wound up. Okay. So we're just going to let those cook a little bit. I looked at a Pioneer Woman recipe for caramelized onions, and they said you could cook them for about 15 minutes and get them good. Some other people say 20 minutes. Some people say an hour. I'm not going to keep you guys and gals on here for an hour while I caramelize them. I think we can probably get them, good and caramelized in about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm just kind of wiping out my skillet here. I'm actually going to be using the skillet that has the little grate marks on it. So I thought that might be good to cook the burgers on. And I'm wiping up my little bit of grease mess that happened while I was frying that bacon. And something I'm going to do while we're waiting for these onions to caramelize is I'm going to take my bacon and break it up into smaller pieces, okay? Maybe break it into halves. Hey, Jay. I'm going to try not to eat all the bacon before we get ready to actually do this. You like the Ouija board theme, Jay? Well, you kind of gave me the idea for that, too. I have to give Jay a lot of credit for coming up with all these different ideas, stuff I hadn't even thought about. I'm going to go ahead and open up these buttermilk blue cheese crumbles. And, if you're not a fan of blue cheese, I was going to say this. If you're not a fan of blue cheese, you could definitely use other types of cheese. Because there's probably some people out there that be, yeah, blue cheese. Steve might be one of those people. And before I forget, people have many different choices out there of buns, hamburger buns that they can use. I just got Kroger white hamburger and rich buns. There's 8 buns in here, but you get whatever buns that you like. And actually, my fries are almost done. But what I'm going to do after they're done cooking is I'm going to set my oven on warm and keep those suckers warm for myself. Hey, Kathy. I think I'm also going to get the guacamole. And it's the same guacamole that I had in the tube for the other recipe that I did. There we go. And actually, I'll mix my onions here. So we're going to turn off the oven. And I'm going to say to keep warm for an hour, and it'll keep those French fries warm for at least an hour. So while we're waiting for those uh, onions to caramelize, we can go ahead and get our ground beef ready, can't we? So let me get out a bowl here. Maybe I should get out a bigger bowl because we're going to be dealing with a little more meat than just 1 pound. Right? So we're going to get out a bigger blue bowl here. I'm going to temporarily scoot over some or Ouija board stuff there. So y'all can see as I'm doing, you can do multiple things. We can all multitask, right? So I'm going to make this the solo layout while we're working on this ground beef here. We're just gonna. I already did all the service of defrosting this ground beef. Be all ready to go for this. Now, here's going to be the fun part. This recipe does not necessarily tell you to season your burgers, right? Other than maybe the traditional salt, pepper, and I'm dropping stuff as usual. However, I have learned over time that there's a lot of different things that you could mix into a burger. Make them taste even better than normal. Yes, Jay. Jay is correct. The guac is to replicate Reagan's upchuck. Just an FYI. Um, Jay also says, "Oh my God, blue cheese. That ain't fair, Dana. You daggum front." So I'm gonna, clean hands, please, before you do this. Right? Make sure your fingernails and everything are all nice and neat and tidy. Um, but we're just gonna mush up. I do apologize for Darcy. There's probably somebody out walking or taking their dog for a walk or delivery people. The Amazon delivery people have already been out here today. Darcy, please. Darcy, please get out of the window. I'm going to make you go in there with Daddy. Sorry, I don't want y'all to think I yell at my dogs all the time, but she's already chewed on her blinds. We've tried to winterize the windows by putting on that plastic shrink wrap like stuff and all of that. And she has ripped through that. Darcy, please. This is what happens when there are also nice sunny Sundays because people want to get out naturally. She wants to bark at everything. We're continuing to let those onions caramelize there. But first of all, what I'm going to do to this hamburger meat, and again, the recipe that we're using does not tell you to do all this stuff. However, like I said, I have learned over time of making burgers several different times in Nancy's marriage that doing certain things is a great way to make your hamburgers more flavorful. So before you say, that grosses me out, egg is something that gets put into burgers. So we're going to put a couple of eggs in here, first of all, okay? Don't knock it till you tried it, is all I can say. Don't knock it until you've tried it. And we're going to mush that egg up in there. And keep in mind, it's okay to use your hands as long as they're clean. Yeah, Blissful, they are guarding their kingdom. And too, I think Darcy just likes to make noise. Darcy, please get out of the blind before you tear something up. Anybody that's watched me long enough as I do my live streams knows that anytime I'm doing something, I might have to call down the dogs. They're just like kids. They are kids, in fact. They're my kids. So I'm freezing my damn hand off here, but You gotta get that mixed up good, right? And if you don't want to stick your hand down in the ground beef, that is fine. But get that egg mixed around in there good. Putting an egg or two in here also helps hold the meat together good. Because if you ever bought a pound of ground beef and it just seemed to fall apart and not really make good burgers, I know I have, and it makes me mad when that happens. All right. So what else can we put in? Well, let's see if I have soy sauce. Maybe I don't have one here. I need to get some. Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire sauce, however you pronounce it. If you have some on hand, it's good to use. But you know what I am going to use is I have some of this browning stuff. This is Grace browning. We're going to put a little bit. It does have a flavor, and good gracious. I may have to have Steve open this for me. Steve, I knew there was a reason I had a manner because evidently I haven't taken the top off of this in a while. Um, Permit me to step away for a second. We'll see if we can get the top off. Not coming. No, no. Same. Come here. Everybody will put my pot. I am back now. Steve was able to get this open for me, so we're just gonna shake a little bit in there. See that? Isn't that nice? Also gives it a good color. Basically, you can put a lot of different condiments in there, whatever you got. You could even put soy sauce in here. I also have some hot sauce, and you can do that. You got yum yum sauce in here. And there are a lot of different things that you can use. The other thing is spices. Almost everybody has a lot of spices, right? I have a ton of spices. I'm just mixing these onions here. We're still letting them caramelize. But I have a lot of different stuff in my spice rack. Okay. So what are we gonna get here? We're gonna get. Let's put a little ground paprika, however you pronounce it. We're gonna put a little bit of that in there. Okay. We have some parsley flakes, and by all means, if y'all have some fresh of any of these spices and herbs and stuff like that, put whatever you like in there. As much or as little in there. Okay. We want to make these burgers good, right? What else? we got some, let's put some, we're going to put some crushed red pepper in these suckers. Just shake a little bit of that in there. How spicy you want them. Some ground cumin, honey, how do you pronounce it? Shake a little bit of that in there. Some thyme. Okay. You don't even have to measure that stuff out. We'll just put it in there. Something else you can put in. Little garlic powder. Okay. And there's something else that I get. Let me see if I can find it. This is, you didn't put taco seasoning in here. This is Grippos, like the Grippos potato chips, gourmet barbecue spice. I put it in my hamburgers, guys and gals. We'll get messy there. Let's put a little of that in there. All right. After you do that, you probably don't need to put any salt and pepper in there, but you can if you like. Okay. You put a dash or two of hot sauce. Well, what the hey, Jay? Let's put some hot sauce in there. I actually have some Louisiana hot sauce. Okay, so let's just put. Excuse me. Put a little bit of that in there. Let's make these suckers a little spicy. I'm all for that. All right. Jay's talking about fried eggs on burgers. I've done that too. It's good. I'm a gourmet burger maker. I don't know about that, but I try. Hey, Coco. Sure, baby, nerdy say I hate it when people call it watch your sister's. Mixing by hand ensures even cooking. You are right, Kathy. Sir Batman Nerd said the homicidal homemakers got a Victor Crowley cake recipe that looks like intestines. That's cool. Coco, you say, yup, I always had an egg. My uncle used to make the best damn burgers and told me that he added egg. Uh, so let's get our hands in there again and mix this up really good. And like Kathy says, and she is exactly right on this, it does make for the most even mixing. Okay. And we want all of those ingredients to be mixed into the hamburger meat, ground beef. Okay. So see what I have done, and this is what you guys can do. Put in whatever spices and herbs and sauces and all of that that you like. The possibilities are pretty endless with this. But what I've done is taken a basic recipe and kind of made it my own. Make it the way I like. The way I like it might not necessarily be the way you guys like it, but and you can also dress these burgers any way you want. You can put mayonnaise, you can put mustard, you can put ketchup, you can put lettuce, tomatoes, a fried egg, like Jay said, or you can put Fruit Loops on them. Okay? So we're going to go ahead too and start heating up our skillet. And like I said, I'm using my cast iron um, skillet with the grating or the grapes in it. Because I thought, hey, that might make some good burgers, right? You say, yeah, mix that up with your hand like it owes you money. Yep. Darcy's walking around me like, I'm just waiting for you to drop something, like dropping some of that meat or something. So these onions will shortly be caramelized to what I would prefer. Keep in mind, there are some recipes that say you can caramelize these onions for an hour. Uh, and like I said, by all means, you know what I might do? Let's just put a little soy sauce in it. Again, this is just Kroger brand soy sauce. Oh, I haven't even opened this yet. Remember, next time you don't use your mouth, pull those inner seals off. Then doesn't just mean Steve. Or if you're just cooking for yourself, like Jay says, they better expect that he's going to be licking his fingers and all kinds of stuff there. A little soy sauce in there. And then I know I clean my hands, but get the hands back down in there again. I'm reminded every time I do this of that episode of Roseanne where she has Darlene sticking her hands down in ground beef and mixing it with her hands, and Darlene remarks at how disgusting it is, and Roseanne says, "Why do you taste it?" We're getting that soy sauce mixed in there good. All right, I'm going to wipe my hands off again. Oh yeah, I would think cucumber. I never had cucumber on a burger, Coco, but I would think that would be awesome. I mean, you can basically do anything that you want with your burgers, right? As long as it's not hurting anybody else, right? In Hawaii, they probably put pineapple on their burgers. We'll put pineapple on pizza. Remember that scene in Pulp Fiction where they were talking about they eat mayonnaise with their French fries? There you guys and guys, these caramelized onions are smelling really, really nice. Put in that bacon grease. Steve doesn't trust that I can make good caramelized onions, so he got him some onions, just a slice and eat. Jake says, "Yeah, you come to my house, you're lucky if licking is all I do with my fingers." These onions are just about done, guys and gals. Hey, pretty nice. My French fries or my fake fries are staying warm in the oven. Actually, I already got something on my Ouija board here. Let's see if we can dab that off a little bit. That'll give it some character, though. That's okay. It was probably when I was splashing some of that stuff in there. And for those of you that missed the beginning of the stream, I'm not going to bore anybody by going over again what I did to make those, but you can go back and watch the beginning of the video on the replay. I tell how I made those. My birds are happy. They must be happy about these Captain Howdy Burgers. All right. So it feels like my skillet is pretty warm. So we want to make about 8 3-ounce tight round balls of beef. And we're going to smash them until they're about a 1/4 inch thick. I don't know if I'm going to do that exactly right here, but let's see what we can do with this sucker here. I do have a hamburger patty maker. I'm not sure where it is at the moment, so I'm just patting these out by hand. And I hope y'all can hear that sizzling. Now, remember when I said that those eggs would help keep the meat together? They definitely do. We probably could have even put a third egg in here if we had wanted to. Nothing says that you can't. It certainly wouldn't hurt anything. And generally, depending on how thick you make your burgers and how well done you want your burgers to be, um, I would say cook them 3 to 4 minutes on each side. And if you like them well done, don't want raw burgers or blood running out of them, it wouldn't hurt to, stick a fork or a knife in them and just kind of check. After you cook them for about 4 minutes on each side, see if they need to be cooked a little bit longer. You don't want anybody getting sick, right? And let these onions cook just a little while longer. And then we're going to go ahead and make our blue cheese with heavy cream. It's going to make our melted cheese to put on top of this. Okay. So let me show you what these onions are looking like. Yeah. Don't those look good? Those are going to be good on those flavors. So I'm going to move. I'm actually going to turn the oven off or the burner off on that side. I'm actually going to set the rest of the ground beef in the refrigerator because we don't want to wait it out. We've got the heat on in the house. We don't want that to get steaming on. And also, I'm not going to make y'all watch as I make all of these burgers, right? I cleaned out my refrigerator yesterday and put new shelf liners in, and it made things a lot better, man. So we got this. The burgers are cooking. I'm just about ready. I'm gonna transfer these Ooh, thank you for calling out for me. Out of my cabinets. This clearly tells me that I've got too much stuff in my cabinet. They would tell me I have too much stuff everywhere. All right. So we're going to get these onions out of the skillet. Hopefully not making too much mess. And you can see those caramelized onions. You can see the fruits of my labor there. And I did not notice, but I was reading that onions have a small amount of, I guess, natural sugar in them. So that's what helps caramelize them. I was like, that's an interesting fruit fact there. Taters and onions fried together as a dish. Yes, those are delicious, Kathy. Well, thank you, Coco. Coco evidently likes the onion. Uh, Jay, y'all want to see the patties front? Well, let's see if, I hope this doesn't make anybody dizzy here. Let me, hold on here. Exit solo layout. Let's make this the solo layout here. Ooh. Can you see them frying there? I've actually just got my tablet over there so y'all can actually see these suckers frying in the skillet there. Isn't that lovely? And actually, I'm going to flip these suckers so we can cook them on the other side. Oh, yeah. I think it was a good idea to use this pan with the grapes in it because it's making those nice real marks on these burgers. Press down on them a little bit. What's that? Another thing it's good to do, and I'm sure a lot of you guys and gals do it, is to drain your burgers. A lot of times they have their own extra grease in them, depending on the fat content. So I think what we're going to do while those burgers are finished up frying is we're going to go ahead and make this blue cheese and whipping heavy cream consistency, right? All right. So we need our blue cheese and our heavy cream, right? So we're going to get a pan out here. We're going to get a saucepan. And we're going to mix our blue cheese and heavy cream. That's basically what you got to do with this here. So I'm going to put the blue cheese in there. And then I'm going to measure out some of this heavy cream here. I'm just smelling, I think it's okay, but it doesn't hurt to measure it out there. Put the rest of it away. Don't want to take the thing out. All right, so we're going to throw that in there. And what we're going to do, we're just going to mix it. I'm just going to put it on medium heat there. And gonna mix it up here while our burgers are finishing cooking there. And so something else I wanted to let you guys and gals know is this Howdy Burger recipe was not very descriptive and not very elaborate. So there was a lot of, there was a lot of improvisation on my part. So that's why I say you feel free to go ahead and make this Howdy Burger your own. All right. These burgers down just slightly. Oh, yeah, Kathy, good idea. Flying eyeballs could be meatballs rolled in ketchup before eating. Well, actually, I have two sizes of spatulas, Coco. I have a larger spatula. I don't know if I showed you guys. This is the spatula I usually use for my 3-egg omelet. You can see I used it this morning to make a 3-egg omelet. And then I have another spatula that I'm actually using for these burgers. It's working pretty well. Hey, Blair. So we're just mixing our blue cheese and heavy cream. These burgers, I believe, are just about done here. I may take a knife here and poke them a little bit, make sure no blood come out. Here to be. And Coco brings up a good point when she was talking about how large the burgers are. It's always a good idea to make them a little larger than you think they need to be. Because guess what happens when you're cooking them? They cook up, right? So you may think you're making a gigantic burger, but by the time it's cooked to your specifications, it may be a little bit smaller. Yes, the power of blue cheese compels you. That's right, guys. And I'm continuing to melt this cheese in the heavy cream. We'll get it to a nice consistency that we can spread on this burger. All right. So we're going to turn off these burgers. And I am going to get them out of the skillet and pat them off. That's something I learned from my mom. It should be common sense, but a lot of things I learned from watching my mom over the years. Um, to drain, things like hamburgers before you eat them. We're gonna pat these off, get a lot of the grease off of them. These must have been high fat content burgers here. Got a lot of grease on. And I'll show you what they look like here in one sec. Okay, I'll let y'all see. Well, if I turn the food can back on, sometimes I forget. All right, so let's make this the solo layout again. Let's take a look at those burgers there. Don't they look scrumptious? They look scrumptious to me, anyways. Um, and so here soon we're going to be assembling these Captain Howdy Burgers. Okay. Kathy knows she's cooked a lot of burgers in her time. I can tell. She says, "I like my burgers medium cooked." I had a few customers, I was reading Blissful's comment. I like my burgers medium cooked. Yes, allow for shrinkage. Jay says, "I like burgers and a few other things, a little pink in the middle." Um, Blissful, you say, "When I was a waitress, I had a few customers eat raw burgers." I mean, I'm sure it's been known to happen in restaurants. Um, So our blue cheese and heavy cream is just about ready. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a couple of buns to our Ouija board plates over here. And even if you wanted to protect these a little bit more, you could put some plastic wrap on them, right? So I'm going to move this around a little bit to allow for us to plenty of space for our Captain Howdy Burgers. Okay. Um, Patty, you think they look so tasty? Well, thank you very much. So our blue cheese heavy cream is just about ready, guys. And remember, you can dress these any way you want: ketchup, pickles, onions, um, fried egg, lettuce, tomato, bacon. We'll be putting bacon and guacamole on mine. All right. Okay. We're going to turn off the heat on the blue cheese and the heavy cream. That's pretty good. I'm a cheese lover anyway. Yeah, jalapeno peppers, pepperoncini peppers. I mean, whatever you want. Like I said, these are your burgers. Blue cheese and heavy cream sounds like dirty talk. Yeah, I better be careful what I'm saying here. Um, so Baby Nerdy said there's pansies where I work at, they hate a little blood from their burgers. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying Steve's a pansy, but he has told me sometimes, with things like burgers, it's a little red in the middle, Dana. Chickens, it looks a little raw in here, Dana. But they can't all be perfect, right? So I'm cleaning up as I go along, just like my mother always taught me. Mom always taught me tools of a trade here. So, all righty. So let's go ahead, add our burgers here on. Right. Mixing up the buns here so they don't get little. All right. All righty. So now you can do this in whatever order you choose, right? Throw some of this stuff in containers. Sweet banana peppers, yes, Kathy. I agree. Like I say, that's the great thing about a lot of these recipes that I'm showing you guys, is that they're fully customizable. All right. So I'm going to get the You Have Been Poisoned spoon. And word of note, if you get one of these from Amazon, don't put it in the dishwasher like I did because it will take the finish off the letters. Sadly, I learned that a little bit too late. So let's put some caramelized onions on here. Put it, and then you can even put those, you could put them on the top of the bun if you want to. Maybe get those spread out good on top of our bun. Put as many or as few as you want. And let's also put a little, well, let's go ahead and put some of our blue cheese and heavy cream here. You put however much you want on. I'm mainly just trying not to destroy my Ouija board things. If y'all are using just regular plates, then you can get a little more messy. That's right. All right. So let's put some bacon on here. My dear husband doesn't like bacon, but whatever. And let's top that off with a little guacamole, shall we? In lieu of pea soup, right? Okay. Let's carefully put the top on there. Press down a little bit on those. You could even put a toothpick in there, but don't eat the toothpick, right? All right. So Yeah, that's right. That's what I say. It's a dang crime. And even people have said there's something very wrong with Steve, but he doesn't like bacon. Yeah, I know. Poor Steve. He doesn't like bacon. Yeah. Well, sorry, Darcy. Like I said, Darcy's waiting patiently for me to drop something. Let's we'll move both of those burgers down. It gets a little bit blue cheese on there. Okay. So you get you a few fries. In fact, I'll get these fries out. Now, I did not make homemade fries this time, guys and gals. I'm going to put this guacamole away. I just got seasoned fries from Kroger's. In fact, I'm going to get those out now. We'll have a green bowl because, there was pea soup vomit, right? Okay. Well, let's get our fries out of here, our Fates fries to fight Captain Howdy, right? Because you'll need something to fight off the spiciness from these Captain Howdy burgers, won't we? And just because these are seasoned doesn't mean you can't put a little salt on. He doesn't care if they're seasoned or not. He's going to want to put some salt on. Careful because these fries are hot. I'm going to turn off the warming on my oven. All right. So, I don't want y'all to be able to see the whole noodle there. Oh, yeah. So there we go. There you have it. You can add some ketchup with your fries or whatever. Um, but we have officially reached the end of making Captain Howdy Burgers with Faith fries. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching as I created these. And I told you it was gonna get a little bit messy. But I noticed some of my guacamole and some of my onions and stuff have kind of fell off my burger here. That's why I said if you want to preserve your Ouija board plates and not let them smear, which this is holding up pretty dang well. We'll say that. I don't know how well they would hold up if soaked in water. I don't think they would hold up. But getting a little grease on these and stuff like that seems to give them a little more character, believe it or not. See that? Lay that back on there. But let's see. Russell says, "Oh man, I'm drooling already." Sir Famine Nurse says, "Me too, plus I'm drooling like Homer Simpson." Listen, about you? Are you talking about the bacon? You're like, oh my God, Steve, who hurt you? Jay, you said these burgers are TMI worthy, Dana. Well, thank you, Jay. Take that as a compliment. Um, Coco, you said avocado was a weird touch. I love avocado though. So Batman Nerd say I love to chase the spice with even spicier food. Uh, Coco, you said looks good. I'm off to the kitchen now. Well, see, that's what I want you guys and gals to do. You know, I want y'all to feel inspired and say, "Hey, I can do that. I can do that too." I'm gonna go make my own Captain Howdy Burgers. Damn it. Um, Blissful, you said regular burgers are a thing in the past for me after this. Um, yeah, that's a nice touch, Super Batman Nerd. Had the fries as a cross would be excellent. Yeah, they're face fries. Yeah, we could definitely do that. In fact, asking you shall receive, right? There we go. We can even do this, right? We can put one. Yeah, I love it that y'all are getting so creative. You know, you're coming up with your own spins on things. But I think I'm going to enjoy me one of these burgers now. And I'm going to skedaddle on out of here for the evening or the afternoon. And I will be back at 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight where we're going to be watching Groundhog Day. So let me know if anybody wants to join in on that. And I will be sure to send you the link. And we're going to party until it hurts tonight, guys and gals. And once again, I hope that you love this movie, Munchies. Be sure to like and subscribe and join whatever you feel compelled to do. I'm not one to beg for subscribers or anything, but if you like the content, like, share with your friends and family members, subscribe if you'd like. Heck, join if you want to throw a few bones my way. It will go right back into the channel. Trust me. I don't tell people that it will and then it doesn't. Unless me and Steve are starving to death, and then it might go for groceries. Yeah, but we've already gotten groceries this week, so we're good. Um, thank you, Blissful. Blissful says awesome and drool worthy live. Thank you, Super Batman Nerd. He said great stream. And so, yes, I am now going to skedaddle on out of here for the afternoon. Y'all have a great rest of your Sunday. And let's prepare to start a spectacular week, shall we? I love each and every one of you, and I'll see you next time.